If you travel 80 million miles to find your way out of a closet, you might be in Narnia. I'm Gayfesh, and today we'll be talking For All Mankind, Season 3, Episode 6, New Eden. But before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Spoilers ahoy. Sojourner 1's landing damaged the engine, permanently grounding it. Fortunately, Phoenix is in orbit, and they will provide the crew with a return journey. Sojourner may have been first down, but without the ability to fly around to find water sources, and with HABs rushed over 2 years early, things aren't looking the greatest. The HABs are too hot, they're rationing a half gallon of water per day, and the CO2 isn't getting properly filtered out. Meanwhile, Phoenix is doing great. Ed obviously regrets not being first, but they're clearly in a better position having found water. Back on Earth, though, we're starting to see hints of things not going so well with Helios. Dev storms out of a board meeting because they're concerned that with Mars' cost overruns, he's lost sight of other parts of the company. They don't even explain what it is the company does other than go to Mars, but I can assume they might have some satellite launch contracts like SpaceX does. Karen decides to come back to the company with the conditions that she gets an actual job title of COO and an office. They have a big meeting with Roscosmos, as it turns out the Russians have discovered a massive source of liquid water and want to hire out Phoenix's lander to go there and drill for it. They agree to share 50% of the water, but it looks like they're going to cut NASA out entirely, not letting them know about it. I don't really understand how they think that's going to work, given that the cosmonauts are living at the NASA base, but Sergei lets the information slip to Margot, and Alita tells Danielle, so cat's out of the bag on that. Speaking of Margot and Sergei, she briefly discusses with the DADT about getting Sergei's family over to the United States, possibly via Black Ops. That sounds like a wild storyline if they go through with it. Danny is not doing well. He accidentally injures his hand while working on a drill, and after he runs out of the Tylenol they prescribe him for the pain, he breaks into the medicine cabinet and swipes some oxys. He's been continuing to watch Ed's messages and sees him first tell Karen that he didn't land because he didn't want to put Danny at risk, and then tell Karen that he recognizes the same mental health issues with Danny that Gordo had, and that he's probably not cut out to be an astronaut. He doesn't take the news well. I don't think he's gonna have a happy ending. He may not even make it back to Earth. Kelly is having fun with her Soviet boy toy. They get it on in the hydroponics module and think turning the fan on will hide it from everyone, but you can't hide that banging. I hope Homeboy's pullout game is strong, Kelly. NASA probably didn't send condoms, and they definitely didn't make infant-sized spacesuits. The other big through line of the episode is one of our new characters, a black astronaut named Will Tyler. As all the astronauts are filming interview answers, Will decides to come out as gay. He looked out at the surface of Mars and saw a whole new world and took his shot at making a change. Of course, it's gonna be a hell of a bumpy ride. Probably one of the best scenes in the show is when Will and Danielle have a conversation about the differences between being black, which they both are, and being gay. This causes problems both on Mars and on Earth. On Mars, Will has been long friends with Roland, the Soviet defector, but as soon as he learns Will is gay, he starts being massively afraid of catching AIDS from him. Back on Earth, well, things are even worse. Because Will is active duty army and gays are banned, there is discussion about what is to be done with him, which lands in the lap of the president. You might think, hey, the president is gay, she'll help her own. But remember which party she belongs to. She has a jobs bill she's trying to get passed, and her own party won't vote for it if something isn't done about this gay astronaut. She opts for a compromise that everyone will hate, which she and Larry consider a sign that it's the right choice. They'll put in a rule that the military cannot ask if soldiers are gay, and soldiers cannot be openly gay. Will be discharged from the army once he returns to Earth. I've said it before and I'll say it again, gay Republicans are working against their own interests. The show is optimistic enough that they'll eventually come around to better change than this, but she's the president of the United States, and the most she's able to muster is instituting Don't Ask, Don't Tell even later than Clinton did. The subject ain't over yet, though, because Larry's seeing a guy, and they apparently went at it in the Oval Office once, and this info is about to get leaked. I wonder if Kenneth Starr will be a special investigator. That's it for this episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Oh god, don't tell me the news is gonna obsess over semen stains in this timeline too.
Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share the video with your friends. Subscribe to my Patreon to get shouted out in future videos. Check out my Bandcamp for banging tunes, including all the tracks you heard in this video. Follow me on Twitter at GayestFesh, and don't forget to check out my podcast, The Rest of Both Worlds, where I go through Star Trek The Next Generation with a friend who's never seen it. Thank you to all my patrons, with a special shout out to Piftle Cakes and Renee Vorbeck. Your support is greatly appreciated. See you all in the next video.